Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I just wanted to go over two important utility functions when you're using Tailwind. So the first is Tailwind CSS, or sorry, Tailwind merge, which is basically a utility function, and what it does is it overrides the conflicting classes and it'll keep the rest of them untouched. So if you were like using a component here, and I'm gonna give this component some type button props, and we'll say React button HTML attributes, and this would be type HTML button element, and then in here we define this as button props, and then we would take out the class name, and we're also going to take out the children here, and then we're going to assign all the props to the rest. So say props here, and then we're going to say class name. Now we'll also put children in here, which means we have to change how this looks because we have to actually put children in here. So we'll say button here. All right, you put template literals. Let's say py3 px of 6 rounded md bg yellow 500. So we'll go ahead and create that button. And if we were to pass, and we'd also take the class name right here. Now, if we were to pass the class name here, say bg red 500, right? It's not going to do anything. So what we need to do is bring in a library called tailwind-merge. So we'll say tailwind-merge, npm install tailwind-merge, which I already have installed, but this is the npm thing for it. It has 2 million weekly downloads, over 2 million actually. So it's pretty popular. And then we'll go ahead and change this up. So before these template literal, I'm going to add tailwind merge, import that. Then I'm just going to copy these styles here, put these parentheses, and then we're going to get rid of this part on the end here. And then I would say, or then you would add class name here, and now we'll override it. So you can see it just overrides the conflicting styles. So on here we also have rounded MD. If we were to add rounded 2XL, you can see it also overrides that. It does it for any of the classes. So yeah, that's essentially what tailwind merges. And then if we were to do one click, and we were to set clicks here to the opposite of that, and then some people like to define their optional chaining for class names in objects like this. So it'd be like this, clicked, and we'll say if it's clicked, we want it to be BG green of 500. Well, this doesn't work in tailwind merge, and that's where clsx comes in. And clsx is another utility function that allow you to do optional chaining with objects, arrays, boolean, or string. But this does not overwrite your styles. So you can't just, so if we were to import clsx, right, it's not going to actually overwrite the styles. So it's still going to be BG yellow 500. So what we need to do instead, before I imported that, is inside of this, inside of these parentheses, we'll add another set of parentheses. And in there, that's where we bring in clsx. And now everything works as expected. It smartly cleans up the conflicting styles. This would get a little bit redundant wrapping tailwind merge with clsx over and over. So what a lot of people will do is they'll create a new folder up here, and we'll put that in the src, call it libs, and then make a utils function. And then inside this utils function is where you would export function cn. And we call it cn just for class name, just short for that. You can call it whatever you want, really. And we return tailwind-merge. We'd import that. And then we'd import clsx. So tailwind-merge will wrap clsx, but inside here, we need to define what we're going to take. So also from clsx, I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to import class value, which is right here. And I'm just going to make it this type because it's just a type. So in here, we'd spread the inputs. And then this will take the class value, and it's going to be an array. See the type here. And then inside the clsx, we'll take the inputs. And now, instead of doing all this, we can get rid of clsx, and we can import our cn function here, which comes from our libs utils. And I'm gonna get rid of one more parenthesis. Now it basically works. So yeah, if you were to create another component, let's call this heading. We'll just say children react.node. Taking the children here, and then the class name. We just open an object and then import cn here, and it'd be the same way. So let's say text 5XL font bold, text green 500, and then inside the page here, right above this, I'll import the heading, which is going to come from this needs to be capital. So from here, we'd import a heading from components heading. I'll say this is a heading, and instead of flex, do flex call. So it's at least above it. Y6, 5. And now it'd be the same thing. You could import the class. We also have to take the class name out from the. We'd also have to add a class name here, which would be class name. So on the back of this, you'd also add class name here. And then if I were to say text to Excel instead, font thin, see it overwrites it. So that's essentially it for this. In the next part, I want to go over using class variance authority, but that's about it for this one. Thanks, guys. Bye.